Good day to you and welcome to another Paddocks Club video tutorial. Today my subject is community scheme living generally. More and more people are living in community schemes every single year. Almost new developments, other than those subsidized by the state, are developed as sectional title schemes or homeowners associations. Local municipalities want owners of new housing to take responsibility for the supporting infrastructure, and buyers want to take group responsibility so they can control the safety and security of their environment, make gated villages, and they're prepared to pay the price. But apart from these factors, South African cities need to densify so as to allow workers to live closer to their places of work and to allow the maximum use of the urban infrastructure. Provinces and municipalities are being told that they need to put people in high-rise accommodation rather than in individual single-story dwellings. So community schemes are the way of the future. But the challenge is to develop communities with an urban mentality rather than longing for a rural independence where you can't see the smoke from your neighbor's chimney and never hear anybody, you don't hear your dogs, your other dogs barking, that sort of thing. We should be cultivating a culture of appreciation for the benefits of urban and suburban life, emphasizing the advantages of communities and neighbors. Well, that sounds all very high-flying and all the rest of it, but what practically can one do? Well, when they come to live in a community scheme, property owners and occupiers are entering into a legally binding relationship with their neighbors in regard to their behavior, and in the case of the owners, in regard to the communal upkeep and maintenance of the property in the scheme. Many people say they're dissatisfied with the running of their schemes, and we know that owner apathy is a major problem, particularly when schemes are reasonably well run and people don't feel that they must attend. Now somebody else will do the work. One can perhaps understand a lack of engagement in scheme affairs by owners who are absentee landlords, but resident owners and tenants are an integral part of the scheme community, and they'll always be affected by how its operations are managed. They should get involved. What do you tell people who are thinking of buying or moving into a community scheme? Well, I've two suggestions insofar as prospective tenants are concerned. Tell them to read their lease agreement very carefully. Tell them to look at the Rental Housing Act and those things that are considered to be reasonable and unreasonable provisions in terms of it. Read the scheme's rules. Understand how they impact on you. If it's a community scheme that is a homeowners association, read the articles and the memorandum and the behavioral rules that are made. Can you keep a pet? Will there be restrictions on your visitors' parking? How can you use the common property? All these are things that should be known by anyone who moves into a community scheme. And for prospective owners, Paddock has a 7-point plan. Find out who is the scheme's managing agent. Check their background and credentials to manage the property. If it's a big managing agency, find out who exactly will be actually managing the scheme. Is the property sufficiently insured? What's the replacement value of your unit? Are there sufficient funds to cover the long-term repairs and maintenance? Are there any outstanding or planned work that will result in higher levies or special levies? Get a copy of all the applicable laws and governance documents. Get a copy of the title deed conditions that apply to your property and the scheme generally. In sectional title schemes, that's the Section 11.3b certificate, which you can get from the deeds registry. Confirm the boundaries of your sections and exclusive use areas by reference to the registered sectional plan, so that you know what you're responsible for and what the body corporate is responsible for. And finally, confirm the levies, how they're made up, and whether you can actually afford them. Tell people that community schemes can and do work well when people are engaged. Owners and occupiers, including tenants, must engage in the process and be aware of their rights and responsibilities. Thank you for joining me. Please let's discuss this further in the discussion forum.